Hi, I'm Bryan with Pioneer Builders. We're going to have the plumbers start soon. Let me go over the cabinet layout with you, show you some things you could keep in mind. Let's go. We're in the kitchen right here. It's basically an L-shaped kitchen, and then we'll end up having the island here. Now, what I'm primarily focused on right now is just the plumbing side of things. So we're going to have our drain waste vent system, as well as the wet side of the plumbing utilities to factor in. I don't need to worry too much about all of the other things, electrical, mechanical, but I'll still have those things in the back of my mind as the plumber's working to try to forestall any conflicts. Now, we have really basic layouts. We did have some that's a little bit more complicated, but honestly, we're able to do it pretty simple. So in this particular kitchen, this is the primary area that I need to worry about. Now, we do have some wet utility over here because that's where the refrigerator is going to go. Actually, no, that's a pantry cabinet. This is where the refrigerator is going to go. Again, I'm not too worried about that. It's just a little plumbing line. This is going to be the key. So come on over here and let me show you a couple of things that you would want to think about. Now, our cabinet guy already did a lot of the layout. I'm just verifying. So starting from left to right, you can see what he has is where the cabinet will end up ending, and then also how much space between the cabinet and the island is going to go. We like to have 4 feet. Not every kitchen is going to allow for that. The minimum would be 36 inches. That would be pretty tight, but hey, some houses just would call for that, maybe an apartment, something like that. In this case, we wanted to have 48 inches around for the island. Now, certain areas, when you have that corridor, can vary depending on how important it is. So a refrigerator needs more room, not only for the doors, but also for the person. If you have a dishwasher and you pull that down, you're going to want to have more room. You can landlock somebody if you have that down. So a more functional kitchen would have more room. You want to pay attention to those utilities. Same thing with a range or whatever appliances you might have. A range is a little bit more important because you've got the heat consideration. So far, I think everything is fine. Now from this side, you can see, and he's got 62.5 inches to the box here. Something else to keep in mind is he's laying out to the boxes, the cabinet boxes. He's not laying out to the overhangs of the countertops. He also, it looks like he did account for the drywall. This is going to have a 1/2 inch of drywall. So think of that when it comes into consideration for when you're doing your layout. How granular do you need to get? Let's say you're doing 2 layers of 5/8 inch sheetrock. That's going to be different than 1 layer of 1/2 inch sheetrock. And all of that will add up when it comes to time for your finishes. Then you would think about your cabinet overhang. So that's some of that for the layout. Now, the island, if you come down here and take a look, what we have is a 30-inch cabinet here, a 36-inch cabinet, and this is key. That is where the plumbing is going to go. The dishwasher, and then notice this filler, that's going to make this be 30 inches. At least it should. We'll see how that plays out. But that's the key. So from left to right, we would come 30 inches. And again, you can see he's already, oh, I'm wrong, 27 inches, which is really interesting. Oh, 3D, 3-drawer. This is why it's good to take some time. Yeah, and I'm not going to edit any of this out. This is reality. Okay, so 27 inches, that makes sense. And he does have that. Another little tip, I really like using a crayon, especially when it comes to framing. Okay, so now he's got his 36-inch sink, and that looks pretty good. So in this area here is where the plumbing is going to be. We're not going to build a wall on this side. We're going to have the plumbing come inside the box itself. And then we come around here. And he's got his 24 inches. That's for the dishwasher, which he does have marked. And then he's got his little spacer there. That makes more sense with what I had said earlier. That's going to allow this point to be symmetrical with the other side. Okay, that is the kitchen. Why don't I take you over to the primary bathroom and let's take a look at that one. We are in the primary suite. Before we get into the bathroom, take a look at that ceiling. I just think it is a nice, clean, simple ceiling, but boy, is that some clean framing. Okay, now I did take a look at the bathroom before this, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time laying it out. Let me show you what we have as far as the design is concerned. So we have a double vanity. We've got a 33-inch with a spacer on the left, 18-inch bank of drawers, another 33, so that's very symmetrical. Now in here, I'm going to throw a tape and see where this shakes out. I'm pretty sure he's got 18 inches there. That matches the 18 there. What we're going to end up having is a base cabinet, and I think the countertop's going to run across. There's going to be a little build-up, and then a pantry cabinet on top of that, or whatever it's actually called. Come on in, let's take a look. So from left to right, and again, I think he had a little filler in here, so the numbers might not be perfect. All we're trying to do right now is to make sure that where the plumbing supply comes in and where the waste goes out will fit inside these boxes. I don't need to worry about anything more than that right now. And if you can keep yourself kind of focused on something like that, you'll end up making less mistakes. Okay, so again, from left to right, and let me go ahead and just set this down. That's oriented the way this bathroom is designed. We've got 33 inches, so that would be here, and I can see his mark, 33 and a half. If you account for drywall, that seems within the world that we want to be in for the plumbing. So then 18 inches, let's see where he's got us at. And this did change the design, so I think we're going to have to change this a little bit. This, so 18, that's close to there. So I'm not too worried about that. And if I just turn this over from there, and what was that number again? 33? So 33, yeah, that's ending right about here. So he's going to be in this bay for his plumbing. And now for 18, yep, we've got room. So you'll see this is not perfectly dialed in. We're not building a piano here. It's not a piece of furniture. I just want to make sure where these cavities are, that when the plumber comes in, he's able to fit his plumbing into the right bay, which will make everything better later on. We would actually have some ability to vary some things if we felt like it, as far as some of the other cabinetry, little details, but this will lock us in as far as where those important utilities come in. I'm going to go around the rest of the house. I won't take you through the rest of it. I think that gives you a pretty good idea of what to do. Maybe you're a do-it-yourselfer, and this can help you. There's more I'm going to do with plumbing. I've got a couple of valves to lay out, but I think maybe this would even help those who are maybe not cabinet designers so much, but maybe everybody just has to work together. Everybody just has to work together. And I feel as the general contractor, I need to know enough about everybody's trade so that I can coordinate it. It's like being a, what's it called? A maestro in an orchestra. He or she may not be able to play all of the instruments to the expert level, but they should be able to know the characteristics of each of the instruments so that when they come together, it all makes sense and is harmonious. So there's nobody here on site right now. I've taken a little bit of time on a Friday to do this, and it should make everything run smoother come Monday. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you learned something. Give me a follow on social media at Pioneer Builders Inc. Instagram is probably my biggest account, the one at least that I spend the most time on. I'm also on buildshownetwork.com. So feel free to check me out over there, buildshownetwork.com. Thanks for watching. Now go build something.